What's good, YouTube? I go by the name of Q. If you're unfamiliar, if you are familiar, shout out to you. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm gonna show the fastest way to receive a credit limit increase, and I'm also gonna share my 5 best basic ways to increase your credit score and maintain a healthy score at the same time. If you like this type of content, like the video for me, subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell if you haven't. Let's get into it. If you're a credit card owner or know anything about credit card companies, then you know they do not like to give away free money if they don't have to. Initially, if you're doing well with your credit cards and you're keeping up with your payment, they'll give you a small credit limit increase initially out the gate, a very small marginal increase without you asking. But in most cases, you have to ask. We've all heard the saying, don't ask, don't tell. So if you never ask, the answer will always be no, versus asking and receiving a yes or a no but knowing for sure. I currently hold 2 different credit cards, the only 2 credit cards I have, and my total credit amount comes out to about $20,000. Now that's relatively small. That's relatively small in the grand scheme of things, but it's still something. It's $20,000 that I can use for whatever I want, and $20,000 that can go towards things that can help me continue to build my credit. The first credit card I ever had a credit limit of $3,500. That was it, $3,500. But after 6 months, I noticed that credit limit bumped up to $3,800, and I was scratching my chin like, I wonder why they gave me more money. I called them and asked them about it, and they simply said the fact that you were making on-time payments 6 months consistently, we decided to reward you with some more credit. And I was like, okay, that's cool. That's good insight. I can put that in my back pocket and use that for future reference. After that, I started doing more research. Like, okay, if they gave me some money without me asking, what would happen if I actually decide to ask for more money? Now, I know you're probably thinking, why would you even want more money on credit? Some people are anti-credit, some people are pro. I'm personally pro-credit. Let's keep it a buck. I am pro credit at this point because I know how powerful it is. In the midst of doing my research, I discovered that most credit card companies will give you a credit limit increase every 6 months, so twice a year per request. I'll show you a prime example right now.
Request a credit limit increase for.
Thank you for calling customer care. I'm Jane. Your name, please.
Hi Jane, this is Quentin Childs.
Thank you. May I call you Quentin?
Yes, you may.
Thank you.
I usually go by Q, but Quentin works fine.
All right. I can call you Q. That's fine. How can I help you with your Visa account?
I was just wanting to inquire about a credit limit increase.
Sure. Let's take a look. Services and increase the limit. We ask you just a couple of questions. First one, what do you currently pay every month for your housing?
For my housing, I pay about $1,300 a month.
Is that rent or mortgage?
That is mortgage at this point. I actually just purchased a brand new home.
Okay. Good for you.
Thank you.
Then what is your total annual income?
$70,000 currently.
70,000?
Yes, 70.
Thank you. Yeah, I just plug this in and it takes just a few seconds. Okay, I see that there is an immediate credit limit increase of $5,000 available. We can raise your current limit from $6,100 to $11,100 without any credit bureau inquiry. Would you like to increase your limit by that amount?
Yes, please, Jane. Max me out at the $5,000.
Okay, we now have a credit limit of $11,100. With your current balance and pending charges, there's available credit now on the account of $9,687.86.
Okay, perfect.
Anything else I can take a look at for you, Q?
That'll be it for today, honestly. You've been a great help.
Well, thank you for your business. You earned that increase by your own payment record and record of credit. So thank you for that, and you have a great weekend.
Thank you so much. Before you go, I do have one question.
Sure.
How frequent can we request credit limit increases? Is that like a biannual thing?
Here's what I would recommend. If what you're trying to do is build your credit and you know you've got a history of good payments and everything, you can call us, and if you're trying to accelerate the process, I do it about every 6 months. When those same 2 questions that I asked you, if the ratio of, and they base that on your total credit, not just what's on this account alone, because we gather credit information on you every month from the credit bureaus too.
Understood.
And if they are not able to raise your limit automatically like I did today. They'll tell you. They'll say the only way that we can raise your limit is by another credit bureau inquiry. That's not the best situation for you because it always costs you points whenever they do that. And we tell you that before we actually do that, so you have a choice to tell us, no, don't proceed, let's wait. Because as you're paying your balances down, it may not allow you an increase if you're using too much of your available credit already. But maybe the next month you will have paid some of that down, so you might qualify. But you can call us at any time. But usually if you're trying to increase your credit picture, about every 6 months, you can call and ask. I hope that helps you.
That was perfect.
Because we don't know, when we tell you what we see on this account, we don't know what else is out there on your credit picture, and we can't see that. Only you know that. But if we tell you, nope, we need to do an inquiry, you can always back off. Say, nope, I'll try again in a couple of months.
Gotcha.
Okay?
That'll be it for today, Jane.
You have a great weekend.
Thank you so much. You as well. And it's literally that easy. A 5-minute conversation for $5,000. That's how fast it is to increase your credit limit. But like I said, you have to be responsible with your credit and you have to know what you're doing in order to do things like what I just did. So I hope that helped you. Now let's get into my 5 best basic tips to increase your credit score as well as maintain a healthy credit score. Tip number 1, make all your payments on time. No late payments. No late payments if you can help it, because late payments are no good. Late payments result in derogatory remarks on your credit report, and that's what we do not want. When you remain in good standings and you make all your payments, whether it's the full amount or the minimum balance every single month, then that means you paid on time and that means you're still in good standing. So please make your payments on time. Tip number 2, don't carry a balance at all if you can help it. Carrying a balance every single month, it does nothing but put you further in a hole. So if you make all your payments on time and you pay your balance off in full every month, that will stop you from receiving interest payments as well as potential late charges. Paying interest is no good. Late charges is no good. Both of those may result in derogatory remarks. And again, derogatory remarks is what we don't want to see on our credit report because that will hurt us in the long run. Tip number 3, maintain a healthy mix of credit, right? So you don't want to just have one source of credit. Like the lady mentioned on the phone, you have to have different sources of credit because all of those plays into your overall credit score. So whether you have a credit card, 2 credit cards, 3 credit cards. In my case, I have 2 credit cards and I have a mortgage now, as well as my name is on a lease, right? The car that Kara drives is on a lease. So I have 4 different things at this point, and those 4 things all add up to my overall credit score, my credit history, my credit mix. The more money you have in credit, the best chance you have of not maxing out that limit, which is another good thing, and that leads into my 4th tip. Tip number 4, keep your credit utilization low. Most people would suggest keeping your credit utilization rate at a 30%. I say keep your credit utilization rate at 10% or less. I personally keep my credit limit utilization rate at 6% per month because I use my credit card like a debit card and I pay it off in full every month. So it's impossible. It's impossible. I really have to try in order to max out my credit limit. As you just heard, I just received a $5,000 credit limit. So on one card, I have $11,100 and on my other card, I have about $10,000. I spend about $1,600 max per month on my credit card. So $1,500 out of $20,000, my utilization, I spend $1,500 out of $20,000 plus. My utilization is way down here, and that's what credit companies want to see. That lets them know that you're responsible, and that's how you're able to receive those credit limit increases. My last and final tip, tip number 5, which is what this video started out as initially, is just request credit limit increases. The more money you have, the less potential you have for going above, maxing out, and keeping a high utilization rate. So request those limits so that way you can have more money, right? You can have more money in credit, but you would only use this much. So everything in between there is good money, and that keeps you in good standing. So I hope this video helped you. If you like this type of content, let me know. I know all the ins and outs of credit at this point, and credit is extremely powerful, like I mentioned before. Some people are anti, and I get it. This video isn't for you if you are are anti, but in America, we run on a credit system, we run on a debt system, and it just makes sense to leverage the system in your advantage, right? But you also want to be careful. Let me not leave this out. Be responsible, credit responsibly, be careful, and make sure you're staying on top of everything because it can really come back and bite you. Most credit cards have interest rates anywhere between 16% through 24 or 25%. And if you're paying 25% interest on something, that can get out of hand really quick. That's why Dave Ramsey is anti-credit cards, because he knows most people are irresponsible with them, especially those college kids who go to school and use credit and live on credit cards. That ruins their life. That ruins a lot of adults' lives. So like I said, credit responsibly. And that's it for this video. Like this video if you like it. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Also follow me on IG. Q Makes It Happen on Instagram. Go join the Q crew. Subscribe to my accountability group. And let's just keep it moving. I go by the name of Q. And like I always say, if Q can make it happen, you can make it happen. I'll holler at y'all next video. Peace.